Boomer Sooner.
Handoff up the middle, easy like Sunday morning, touchdown.
This is the Riverwind Casino Coach's Corner on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. Also brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Walden Cleaners. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. This is the Riverwind Casino Coach's Corner. Here are your hosts, Chris Plank and Gabe Ikert.
Welcome inside the Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind. That is Gabe Ikert. I'm Chris Plank, and he is the Sooner offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, Ben Arbuckle. Congrats on 1-0, Coach. Welcome inside the Coach's Corner, man.
Well, fellas, I appreciate y'all having me on. I was excited whenever I got asked to be on here with two cool dudes like y'all. So
the contractual obligations help too. Listen, first of all, we got a lot to talk about, and we're excited to preview Michigan, look back on last week. But I want to know for you personally, what was the experience like?
Yeah, it was incredible. Probably everything I kind of like thought it would be, and whenever I'd lay in bed at night and be like, I wonder what it's gonna be like, that atmosphere. And it was pregame warm-ups, just. I'd never seen that many people in the stands in pregame warm-ups, and they were fired up. They were locked in and engaged, paying attention to everything that was going on. But just getting into the game and hearing the Boomer Sooner chants and hearing the fight song and seeing the schooner run out. I mean, it was awesome. It was really, really cool. I took a quick step back, take in the moment, and then re-lock in, re-engage to what needed to be done, but it was awesome.
It's awesome.
It was solid against Illinois State. It's going to be crazy on Saturday night. I can't wait for you to experience it. Now, I guess we could just go to YouTube for all the John Mateer experts that are breaking down his play against Illinois State. Apparently everyone knows everything about your offense. What was your evaluation of the way that John played in the opener?
I was proud of him. Just kind of, as the kid he is and the player he is, I thought he went out there and he led, he executed really, really well. Is there things that he needs to clean up on and have his eyes better in certain situations? Sure, absolutely. But I've said it to pretty much every quarterback I've ever coached. I said, you're not going to play a perfect game. If anyone's ever played a perfect game, I'd really love to see it. But it's owning those mistakes whenever we're on the sideline and owning those little mishaps when we're in the film room and ultimately growing from them. That's all you can really ever ask from them. From those kids, and so, but I was proud of him. I thought he went out there and he had a ton of fun, which is important. So it was awesome.
Yeah, he's a good kid, man. Great in post game. You can sense he's a leader. I think whenever Baker was here, Hugh Jackson said he's like the Pied Piper when talking about Baker Mayfield, and you kind of get that sense with what John Mateer has been able to do already. You've always been a fan of his leadership. What's that kind of element to his game like on the sidelines for you?
Yeah, on the sidelines, Pied Piper, that's a great analogy. I think it's an analogy. Just kind of has a way, he's the type of person that people want to follow.
Yeah.
And that didn't always just come natural to John. Whenever I first met him, he was this quiet, kind of nerdy kid who's super talented, but, was really just engulfed in the work and the process of everything and didn't really know how to just connect with everyone on that level yet. But over the last year, really over the last year and a half, the strides that he's taken just in that department of getting people to buy into who he is as a person and a player, it's grown exponentially. I mean, it's grown a ton, but it's from what he does every single day. It's how he is at practice. It's how he is in the film room. It's how he is with us coaches. And he's awesome. And I'm just proud of the way that he's grown into that role.
You don't throw for 392 yards without some of your wide receivers making plays.
Yeah.
What did you think of the way that group played as a whole against Illinois State?
They went out there and they just attacked. And whenever the opportunity arose, they made the play. They were where they needed to be, and that was the biggest thing that we've been stressing, me and Coach Jones, we've been stressing with those guys. Hey, if you're where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be, there's a really good chance that number 10 is going to get the ball to you. And those guys have taken that to heart, and whenever they're at practice constantly staying on them about their route depths and the different types of stems and stuff that they need to use. Well, you really only have to say it once with them, and they got it, and they're locked into it. But those guys have put in the work to build that chemistry with John. And John trusts them, and they're talented kids, and they work hard. So I'm excited to just see them keep advancing as players, and keep advancing, their roles in the offense.
Our opening segment is brought to you by Community Coffee, family-owned Community Coffee, the official brewed coffee of OU Athletics. Taste the difference family makes. And I feel like it's something we talk about a lot, Coach, but so much of what is really gained is away from the facility, right? What these guys do when they're not just there in the film room. How have you seen, like maybe John Mateer leads that? I know Troy Everett's been really involved in getting the offensive linemen together. Deion Burks has done a good job with the receivers. How important and how have you seen this team embrace the study away from the facility?
I think Gabe can allude to this also, but whenever you're on a team, I think more than anything, friendship is about as important as anything. You better enjoy being around the guys that you're putting in the work.
It's about the vibes, man. You gotta have the good vibes. You gotta have the good vibes in the locker room.
Yeah, and you got your cool guys, you got your serious guys, you got your glue guys in the locker room. Like those guys are probably the most important ones in the You got your glue guys in there. But it was cool over the summer just seeing different ways that they would connect, whether it was getting extra work in after a workout or like John taking the O-line on a 3-day lake trip, and just being around each other. It's stuff like that people don't see.
No cold beverage was safe.
Yeah.
Water.
I have no idea.
I'm talking about water. I'm talking about the water.
A lot of water's drank
the
that
water.
day. But it's the stuff that people don't see, the connection that's really forged in the off season and outside of the facility that I think is really paramount to any successful team or organization in general's success. And so it's been fun to watch.
A guy that made some big plays for you against Illinois State was Jaren Kanak. Now, he's got to continue to develop his blocking. He's new to the position. Yep. I'm confident that he'll continue to put the work in to improve that piece of his game. But, Coach, this guy's a playmaker for you in the passing game.
Yeah, no, Jaren, he does some good stuff, and he has a special skill set. He's really athletic. He can roll. But the best thing about Jaren is, you talk about him needing to continue developing in the run game. I have zero doubt that he's going to do that just because of everything that has gone on in my 9 months here that I've specifically seen with that kid. He takes things to heart. He takes it personal. He's probably his harshest critic. I know he is his harshest critic. And he enjoys watching film, studying the best tight ends, but also studying himself and what he needs to do better. But I can't say how proud I am of that kid just for the work that he's put in to put himself in the situations he's put himself in.
I know that looking at the Illinois State game, you want to run it more efficiently. What were kind of your takeaways from what you saw from the offensive line pertaining to the run game, and maybe how can that improve heading into a big matchup against Michigan?
I think there's a lot of factors that go into efficiently running the ball. And you'll appreciate this being a former big man. You're not so big anymore, but like being a former big man. I truly believe in the run game. It takes all 11.
Yeah.
No when you talk about the line of scrimmage, sure, that's the offensive line. It's also the tight ends, right? It's also the running backs reading the holes correctly and sticking their foot in the ground, knifing, getting vertical. It takes the receivers, perimeter blocking and push cracking at the right time to the right guy. It takes the quarterback making sure we're in a good play. Like sometimes I'll call a play and maybe it's not a great look to it. Maybe they do something different, but I think it's a whole conglomerate that makes the run game successful. But whenever you look at the Illinois State game, there were some really good things. Were there some missed opportunities? Sure. But also, whenever you talk about runs and RPO efficiency, we threw a lot of access balls out there too that whenever you look how it was blocked up, there's a good chance that it might have popped, you know? And I'm never going to be mad at taking maybe a free access or something here or there. I'm never going to be mad at it because running RPO efficiency is the same thing to me.
Right.
I successfully get the same thing, and so, but we're not where we want to be. But I don't think anybody is in week one. And so that's the fun of coaching. That's the fun of playing football, is the challenge every single week to strive to where we want to get to be. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the week of practice that we've had. And so can't wait to see it.
This is awesome. Ben Arbuckle. We got one more segment with the Sooner offensive coordinator. Stick around inside the Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Riverwind Casino, it's always a good time. Thank you to our cornerstone television partners, OU Health, OG&E, Fowler Auto Group, and Coca-Cola. Coach's Corner is brought to you by One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, fan-fueled, athlete-focused. The Sooner Sports Podcast is your all-access audio pass to Sooner Sports. Listen as Toby Rowland and Chris Plank talk all things Sooners. Log on to Soonersports.com/podcast or search Sooner Sports Podcast in your favorite podcast provider. The Sooner Sports Podcast is presented by Allstate and Riverwind Casino.
Second segment of the show here with Ben
Hydrate,
Arbuckle.
Coach.
Brought to you by Air Comfort
Gotta get it in.
Solutions, your total home solution for plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and electrical. Make the winning call today. Real quick, before we get to some Michigan talk, I want to talk about the coaches you're working with. John Kuzieski, how'd I do? Is that how
John Kuzieski?
Yeah. Let's go. Now, did Colt Garrett come with you too?
He did.
And the tallest man walking around everyone else, Blaze
Benson, yeah.
What a name.
6'5", 225. Now, he played for you at Houston Baptist?
He did, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got
those guys, so Kuz and Colt, they were with me at Western Kentucky too. And so just, guys that have been around, they know me, they know they know how I think, they know how I operate. And then Blaze, got to play for me at HBU, and so it was great to get reunited with him. Great people, man.
My children are going to freak out when they find out there's a guy named Blaze in the stats.
Well, and he stands
Blaze
out.
and the Monster Machines,
Well, first of all, he's like I said, he's
staple of the
6'5". He
household.
looks like an actor that he's walking around out there. He's just a rock star.
No doubt.
But
No
you
doubt.
guys, you add John Mateer to that. How important was it to have, when you're installing a new offense and a new mindset, to have guys think like you and understand what it's all about?
Yeah, the good thing about all of those guys is they know everything about the system, right? And so all the other coaches, whenever we're all fighting to get on the same page and stuff, is they can ask them questions if I'm not around and they know the answer. So it just helps everything be a little bit smoother, way cleaner transition. So those guys are invaluable.
Let's talk some Michigan.
Yeah, come on.
As you've prepared for Saturday, what stands out to you about Michigan's defense?
Really well coached, physical, play tough. You got playmakers over there, and they take pride in what they do. And so it's going to be an exciting challenge to go against. But can't say enough about the job that they do. It's evident on film. And so I'm excited for our guys to get to go out there and have that test, have that challenge, and get after it.
How excited are you for everything that's going into this game? Like College Game Day, primetime ABC. I know, going back to your playing days, like that's the stuff you want.
Yeah.
I assume it's the same. Like when you're coaching, like that's what you want.
100%. Whenever you think about this game, whenever you really take a step back and look at it, I mean, this is what every college football fan, whether you grew up playing it or just loving it, these are the type of games that you love to see, and it's going to be really cool to be a part of. The important thing though is not changing your process, right? I'm the same guy on Monday that I was Monday of Illinois State, that I was Monday at Houston Baptist University playing Southeastern Louisiana. Like you stay true to your process, true to who you are, And ultimately, you try to put your guys in the best position to be successful. But it's going to be fun. What an opportunity for our kids. What an opportunity for those Michigan players too, right? I mean, how cool is that for them? You know, to look back on one day and say, I got to be a part of an opportunity in a game like this. How cool.
You, at your Tuesday press conference, when you were talking about Michigan, a couple guys graduated. Mason Graham was like, what, the 4th, 5th pick in the NFL draft?
Oh, thank gosh he's gone.
They had another guy that went either just on the cusp by the first round or the second round. And now there's more depth. They're cycling more guys through. You use the term stout. Pretty impressive on the interior of the defense. Even with 2 guys gone in the draft.
Really good quality. Those 2 guys, whenever you were watching film of them last year, those dudes were real, and they are every bit deserving of where they got selected in the NFL draft. They were awesome. They were fun to watch. But whenever you look at them this year, they have a lot of guys that they feel really good about. And I don't know personally their defensive line coach, but man, he does a great job. They always seem like they're on the same page. They play with great technique. They play physical, and I think out of that position, that's about the only thing you can ever ask of. And they seem to do it at a high level consistently, and they feel good about cycling those guys in. So I mean, they're impressive, and they do a great job.
Now looking at your offensive line for this matchup, getting a couple guys back, which will be huge, but the pass protection last week was awesome. We talked about, there's more work to be done in the run game, but just what's the sense of how excited the O-line is? Like, what's the sense you get of just how excited they are for this opportunity on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, it's big guys, right? And they know it's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a 4-hour fight, and they get juiced up and they're excited for that. And so, and it's shown in how they've practiced this week, whether we're in inside drill or we're in a scout period or we're doing pods. It's shown they understand the moment, and they're excited to go out there and chase the moment.
Fasusi has been a guy that I've been impressed with every time I've come out, whether it was spring ball, training camp. Quite the first game for the young man.
Yeah.
College game day, prime time against a really stout Michigan defensive line. He's built for it, though, right?
He is built for it. Welcome to college football, right? No, he is built for it, and he's one of those kids where there's zero fear in that dude's eyes. Any day of the week, I mean, he lines up and he's got Arm Mason rushing against him in practice in fall camp, and I mean, I'd sit there and be like, how am I going to do this? I'm probably just going to try and cut him, and to tell the quarterback to get the ball out of his hands. But Mike, he just has this demeanor about him that it's just his job. Like it's my job to block this guy, and he brings it every day. He's a very talented kid. He's a highly intelligent kid, and I just love the mindset that he has. And I'm really excited for him personally. I'm excited for the offensive line, but for him personally, I'm excited for him to get to be on this stage again. Kind of what I said earlier. What an opportunity for our guys and their guys.
John Mateer doesn't seem like a guy that's going to get too caught up into the talking points leading into a game, but clearly Bryce Underwood, #1 recruit in the country, impressive debut. Like, how do you make sure that John doesn't get wrapped up in the quarterback battle that everyone is making such a big deal heading into this game?
Again, it goes back to the process that he follows every week, and he's really diligent with his schedule, his film studies, and everything like that, so he doesn't have time to listen to any outside noise that may be out there. But he also understands that he has a job to do, and him being his best is ultimately what's best for the team. And so he doesn't ever want to compromise that in any way, shape, or form. So he's just laser focused in on the work. He's diligent to his work. And I think that's how he controls kind of his mind throughout the week. And so it'll be fun. It'll be exciting because, I haven't just watched their offense, but, I mean, he's Bryce is, I mean, impressive and has looked like, it sounded like he had great command of everything. He's really talented, and so it'll be fun to see two really good football players going toe-to-toe.
Man, and a great offensive coordinator. Ben Arbuckle, thanks, buddy.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Congrats
Absolutely,
on starting one
yeah.
out. We'll see you Saturday
Come
night.
on, Boomer.
Miguel Chavis is standing by.
just
He's
standing in the
next
window
inside the
back there.
coach's corner.
Lurking.
Stick
Just
around.
lurking out there in the shadows.
All right, welcome back inside the Coach's Corner. We shift from offense to defense. Brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. Miguel Chavis joins us.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Coach? Welcome back.
How we doing?
It's good to
Looking
see you,
good, man. Love that.
Big week, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, you Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you put Illinois State well in the rear view, well on your way to Michigan Saturday night. But we'd be remiss if we didn't ask overall, how'd you feel like the defense performed against the Redbirds on
No,
Saturday?
they did well. You know, it was really, really exciting to get back on the field with the guys. We get a little break there for vacation between spring ball and fall camp, and it always takes me a little while to get adjusted back to normal life with the family. And so, out of the 3 weeks we get, or 3.5 weeks that we get, I've spent the first week and a half kind of getting adjusted. I enjoy it for a couple of days, and the next week and a half is spent like ready to go back. And so I think with this team, especially with this defense, you see a lot of guys that we've had for 3-4 years, and they're the product of their hard work. They're a product of Schmitty. They're a product of Coach V. They're a product of this place, and being in the scheme for as long as they have. And we all have things that we need to get better on, and sometimes my mind goes to those things immediately. But no, they did pretty good. I think we gave up, I think we averaged like 1 yard a pass or something like that.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. It'll never happen again. Listen, that's not going to ever happen again. But yeah, the defense did well. We're in a lot of opportunities to get sacks. They're getting the ball out quick. But Taylor Wine got his first sack, and he was super, super excited about it. And R. Mason played a great game. It was great for Marvin to get out there. Had his first start as a Sooner. PJ played. Daniel Okoye got in there. Wyatt Gilmore got in there. So I think we played all 6 edges that traveled, and the guys are really, really excited about this week.
It was such a big deal when R. Mason Thomas made the decision to come back for another season. And one of the reasons he did it is because he knew he could get better. He knew there were areas he can improve upon in his game. Where have you seen the biggest improvement from R. Mason between the end of last season and where he's at today?
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about, right? Like, all right, if you come back, you got to get better. And so, the kind of the 3 biggest areas that we looked at had one to do with pass rush that I won't speak on. One had to do with being more dominant in the run game consistently, and then one had to do with leadership. And it's just fun being his coach, and it's fun. I remember when I went down to Pompano Beach for an in-home visit, and I think he told me he was 6'3", so like I walked out to go see him. I got to his house way too late, and so his mama Gerald, who I love, she was like, "Nah, that dude can come back a different time. You know, he ain't here all the time." So I talked to him and his sisters in the parking lot, literally true story. And love you, Mama Gerald. And he's just grown. Like he's put on, I think, 35 pounds. He's the leader, one of the leaders of the defense, of the whole team. He's respected by his teammates. You see him here getting a PBU. He's understanding that as a pass rusher, the attention that he's going to garner. But he also's grown as a football player and with his football intelligence. And so it's it's been fun watching him grow up from a young man to a man, and from a pass rusher to a football player.
He's also an incredible personality.
He is an interesting cat. He's fun to talk to.
That's the point. I mean, you've seen him grow. Now, obviously, we didn't get to talk to him a lot during his freshman and sophomore year. He's battling through a couple of injuries, but Coach, just his overall personality is contagious? Is that a term that's good? I mean, he's a great interviewer.
He's one of the most likable guys on the team.
There you go, likable.
You know, like, he's one of the most likable guys on the team. And, you know, we like going into the bowl game, Coach Vease, you know, allowed the team to vote on who were the captains for the Navy game.
Right.
And the first guy was Ethan Downs. The second guy was R. Mason Thomas. And, you know, and I knew he was he's a great person. He's a great player, and he's very coachable, man. He's so coachable. But, man, the esteem that his teammates gave him impressed me, you know. So it's been fun watching him not just be an amazing player, an amazing football player, but now being an amazing leader as well.
Marvin Jones Jr. is a guy that, I'm just going to be honest, when I saw him out in the spring, I was like, okay, he's all right. He's gotten better and better and better. What have been the keys to his improvement? Because I've been really impressed with how he looked in training camp and how he performed in the opener.
Yeah, I love Marv, man. We call him Money Marv. He has a humility about himself that is very, very rare. And that went into his decision of coming to Oklahoma. You know, he went to the portal. Everybody wanted him out of the portal. And, man, it was one of the best OVs that I've ever been a part of. And it was honest, and it was transparent. And this is a dude that doesn't want to be known for who his dad is. This is a dude who doesn't want to be known for being a former 5-star. This is a dude who wants to be the best version of himself. You know, he was a little banged up in the spring, and it reflected that, you could say. But, man, every day, what I'm really impressed with about Marvin is that every day he's come to work with, man, make me better. He called me before fall camp, and he goes, hey, Coach, he goes, you know how you yell at the freshmen? I go, what do you mean? No, but yeah, I do. I know.
Maybe every once in a while.
He goes, I need you to yell at me like a freshman.
Wow,
and I was just very impressed by that. You know what I mean? And he said, I ain't done nothing yet. And I was like, man, you're going to be a star. I said, man, just watch. I was super excited for him this week, excited for the rest of the guys.
He's an all-team member. The first guy is off the bus.
Looks great.
Looks
the way you want an edge. Got to look.
Hey, before we grab our initial break, as soon as you walked in, I had just finished up for our pregame show an interview with Taylor Wine, and I'm just so impressed with this kid, man. To see his patience and to see his commitment, and I'm trying to what do you guys do for fun? What shows you into? He's like, film, football. I mean, they just. Yeah, he's eating up with it.
Junkie.
Yeah, he'll be a future coach one day. There's no question.
You are like the 5th member of the coaching staff that I've heard say that.
Yeah, he'll be a future coach. He'll be a. If the good Lord allows me to be a head coach one day, I'll hire him without.
Bates told me. He told me off camera last week, and I don't think he'd mind sharing. He's like, he is already a great defensive line coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you guys do the camp stuff,
he puts the work in, man. He's lovable and likable, all that stuff. You know, remember now, this is a freaking quote unquote 3-star kid, okay, outside of Nashville, Tennessee, who didn't have offers from a couple of schools in his own state. Okay, and but he's long, he's fast, he's violent, he can run. He's got freaking stuff in his neck. We say it a different way off camera. And he likes it. He doesn't love it. You know, he doesn't just, I'm in love with the idea of playing football, or I'm in love with the idea of being on the film. Like last year, he was the last guy. I told him, man, he was like the snail on Noah's Ark. He was the last guy to make the travel team. You know what I mean?
The snail on Noah's Ark.
He just makes it. He's preparing. Last year, he's preparing every week. Like he's going to go be the starter. You know, that's who's on that team? PJ's on that team. Ethan Downs, who just signed practice squad. Yeah, the Chiefs is on that team. R. Mason Thomas, who's all CC's on that team. Trace Ford, who just signed with the Giants practice squad, is on that team. Caden Willard, who led his conference in Miami of Ohio in sacks. And this dude is like, he's preparing like he's going to be the guy. And just always ready, you know. Like I'm like, dude, you ain't going in. You know, I'm not saying that.
Coach.
I'm not saying that, but in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, son, this ain't the time. You know, these guys they're veterans that have played some ball, and they were just, you know, as a veteran, just more trustworthy and more experienced, and yet, you know, when he did get to go in, I think he had 20+ snaps in the main game. He freaking had an amazing game.
Yeah.
And so he's just an amazing example of what hard work will do for you.
Violent in the main game, if my memory serves me correctly.
I like him.
Couple penalties.
And it's not just because it's not just.
He got two freaking personal fouls. All right, listen. All right, look. All right, it's not an SEC game, so I don't have to talk about it. But look, all right, the first one was on the quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, and he didn't know you can't hit the quarterback. You just can't. Just don't touch the quarterback.
Coach, I didn't know.
It was a good play. The second one was insane. The second one, he deserved to get freaking cussed out if he did, theoretically speaking. The ball carrier is already out of line and out of bounds, and Taylor freaking trucks an offensive lineman.
It was like my favorite. It was one of my favorite plays of the 2024
The offensive lineman should have got a freaking Oscar for that acting job. He flopped.
I only want to talk to her. They used the Family Guy clip from Miguel Chavis on that. All right, more with Miguel Chavis coming up next inside the Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Riverwind Casino. It's always a good time. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy. We want to thank all of our Sooner Radio Network affiliates across the state and region. Fans can check out Soonersports.com for an affiliate in your area. And if you're traveling outside the state of Oklahoma, you can listen to all the action on either SiriusXM Radio or download the Varsity Network app and listen free.
I didn't see that coming.
All right, welcome back inside the Coach's Corner. This segment is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game.
Michigan.
Yeah.
It's a head coach that's an offensive lineman. Yeah. It's an offensive line that has a mentality of physicality. Just how excited are you and your guys for the challenge on Saturday night?
This is why you come and play and coach at Oklahoma. You know, that's what I would say is that what a great game and a matchup between two of the blue bloods in all of college football for like ever. You know, two teams that are looking to make a statement, you know, and so it's going to be a physical game. Michigan, man, they're well coached. You know, Sharon Moore is a great head coach. You know, they have a new quarterback, and the offensive line plays really, really well together. You know, and you know, kind of historically what they hang their hat on. You know what I mean? And so we're going to get their best, and they're going to be well coached, and they're going to make it really, 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 really hard for us.
I'd be just mobile quarterback, we assume, with Bryce Underwood. The challenge for your edge guys on that? What's kind of the keys, just in general?
I think eye discipline is everything, you know, and just not trying to make a play. You know, like if anybody's watched this defense over the past, whether it's the past going on year 4 here or Coach V's time at Clemson or here before, this defense will feed you on all 3 levels of the defense if you do your job. And so, man, do your 1 of 11th. You know what I mean? Dominate the patch of grass in front of you, and that's what it's about. You know, don't try to do somebody else's job. And so, if everybody does their job, and it's going to be you got a shot.
Got a couple of really good backs. Justice Haynes had a big week last week in their opener. Just how important is it for you guys to slow down their rushing attack?
Yeah, man, he's a dude. I mean, come on now. You know, there's not. Hope everybody can see it. He's a player. You know, he's a real player. And so, once again, not to sound like coaches speak or anything like that, but man, do your job. You know, you got to. What we had a lot of success last year, probably the most success defensively over the past 3 years, is because the guys grew in their conviction of the defense. The guys grew physiologically, they grew mentally as football guys, and they became committed, and they were all in to, and what's their standard? Who are we going to be? All right, what is Oklahoma? What is OU DNA? And then who are we going to be as a defense? You know, good or bad? playing on a Thursday night or Saturday. Who cares? Playing Illinois State or playing Michigan? Who are you going to be? And, you know, you control as a player. This is about the players. This is not about coaches. You know, does it take coaches? Yes. Does it take fans? Yes. No doubt. Praise the Lord for fans, or I wouldn't have a job. Okay, but this is about the players. And so I'm really, really excited to see how the players play Saturday.
It's you want to treat every game the same.
Sure.
But it's just the reality of it is it's game day, it's primetime ABC. Yeah. It's not just another game.
Well, I think of it like this. All right, look. All right. Hunting let's say, if you don't like hunting, you're not going to like this metaphor. If you're going to hunt a lion and you're going to hunt a deer, okay, that's a different kind of hunting, but it's still hunting. All right, so what's important about hunting? All right, well, not being seen probably is important about hunting. Having a gun that works is probably important about hunting.
Last time I checked, yes.
Not wearing cologne is important during
Correct.
hunting. Right?
Animals got strong sniffers.
And so I just say, like, you know, everybody understands what this game is and what every game is. All right, but it takes what it takes. So like when Coach V says that, people are like, they're like, oh, he's just talking coach speak, and you come on now. It's like, no. Like, we really actually believe that. We actually believe, you know, if you try to get juiced up for the Michigan game, but you don't do it for Illinois State, you'll lose. We really actually believe that. You know, we actually believe, like, this is the most important game of the week. This is the most important day of the week because it's Team Thursday. And if you don't think a game's important, go ahead and lose the game. Or suck during the game and see if it's not important. So I think, you know, that's what coaches mean. That's what I mean, at least, when I say, like, man, it takes what it takes. You got to do things that it requires to win. You got to be physical. You got to execute. You have to play with uncommon effort. Yes, you got to be excited to play, but the most excited team is not going to win the game. The most physical team is going to win the game. The team that executes the best is going to win the game. The team with the best effort is going to win the game. And our Sooner fans are going to help us. Amen. That's what I know. I know that.
Hunting Wolverines on Saturday night, baby.
I like it. Thanks, Coach Chavis.
Yeah, God bless you guys.
You're the best,
Appreciate
man.
you guys. Boomer.
We'll wrap Coach's Corner next. Sooner.
Coach's Corner is brought to you by Dos Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. OU's 2025 football games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on these stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 30-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show.
Look at Steve Davis. Master of the option, Billy Brooks on the pitch, 39 yards to the house. This is 1976, the Orange Bowl. The last and only time Oklahoma and Michigan have played each other. It's going to be a little bit of a different setting.
Gosh, look at that
turf.
That old OU on that helmet.
Oh, it looks so good.
So
look at the fans.
Good.
Now this is Sidney Brown. Watch this. Going to throw late. That wasn't the prettiest throw I think you've ever seen.
Oh, wrong team.
Sidney Brown gets the pick. The celebration was on. And then Steve Davis, so smooth. One of the all-time greats. We miss him every day. Keeps it himself. Takes it to the house. It was a 9-yard keeper. OU wins it 14-6 on their way to the 5th national championship in program history.
I think we're going to have a few more points than that on Saturday night.
Our final segment is brought to you by Warren Cat, proud sponsor of OU Sooner Athletics. Listen, before we get out of here, let's get Gabe's take on the Michigan Wolverines. As you've said many times, impressive. I think the line you use a little better than you want them to be, right?
They're a good football team. Yeah. I mean, they're a good football team. They're much better than they were a year ago, but so are we. And I think when you look at the matchups across the board, there's no doubt they've got some favorable matchups in this game. They've got some matchups that they're going to feel good about going into this game. I believe the Sooners have more matchups that we're going to have an advantage with on Saturday night. And if OU's offensive line can come together and play at a high level, I think John Mateer can have a day throwing the football against this Michigan secondary. That's the weakness of their defense. I think the argument can be made that may be the weakness of their entire football team along with wide receiver, but it's going to be a big challenge. I'm glad this game is in Norman. I know that because this is a game that can come down to a handful of plays.
Right.
And it's also a game where I think the crowd can have a significant impact. This is an offense with Michigan. They get in the huddle. Bryce Underwood, he communicates, he talks shifts, motions. That stuff is all verbal. They're under center. Verbal snap count. I mean, this is a game and a team that plays a certain style offensively where the crowd can have a big-time impact. And I cannot wait to see the atmosphere that Sooner Nation creates on Saturday night. It's going to be amazing.
Scouting Report is brought to you by One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, fan-fueled, athlete-focused. Oh, and by the way, Michigan's head coach is all too familiar. Sherrone Moore, who was coached by Kevin Wilson, who's on this staff, Bob Stoops, and he's done a nice, there he is on his senior day. Sherrone Moore, look at that. I bet he looks exactly the same right now. But he was a talented guard, played a lot of football here at Oklahoma. So he knows what it's all about here at Owen
Hat
Field.
and hands, that's good stuff. Striking at the second level. Look at Moses Madu get loose. Nice.
Little throwback.
Go. Ooh.
Absolute dime and a beautiful job by Sherrone Moore. But, there's been a lot that they've gone through, some issues off the field. He was suspended for the first game. He won't coach in the third game. He's not going to coach in the first game next year.
All that matters is he's coaching in this one.
That's right, because it was a big deal to him.
Well, I
don't know.
I don't know how Michigan worked that out. It is what it is. But hey, I personally am glad he is. I want Michigan's best shot. And that's what the Sooners are going to get. This is going to be a fantastic football game on Saturday night. These are two of the most tradition-rich programs in college football, and it is head and shoulders the best game of the weekend. And it's getting the proper treatment because it is. So the stage is going to be massive. What an opportunity for the Sooners to show the country what this 2025 team is all about.
Yeah, and a lot of future Sooners potentially on the way to Norman this weekend. So we're excited about that. A lot of future Sooners.
It would certainly help Jim Nagy and his staff's cause if the Sooners can get a big, loud win on Saturday night.
We got 1 minute before we get out of here. Last year, game day was here for Tennessee. Prior to that, it was your junior year against Notre Dame when they were here?
Yeah, amazing atmosphere that night. Wish we would have played better.
Right, but I'm just curious, little extra juice. How do you guys keep things level?
Heck yes, man. Now, there's really nothing that compares to OU Texas. That's kind of over here in its own category. But there's nothing better. And I was fortunate enough to play in multiple, game days there, prime time on ABC. That's the stuff.
That's what it's about.
That's the stuff. That's what it's all about. So I'm so excited for these players. All we're doing is the radio broadcast, and I'm over here getting jacked up. Chavis got me going.
Thanks for joining us on Coach's Corner. For Gabe Ikert, I'm Chris Plank. We'll see you Saturday night. Until then, Boomer Sooner, everybody.
This has been the Riverwind Casino Coach's Corner, presented by Riverwind Casino. Always a good time. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.